Hey, this is attorney Sarah Holmes, and I wanted to talk to you today about the top legal issues when starting your own therapy practice, whether it's telehealth or if you will be seeing patients in person. Now, since the pandemic started last year, we have had quite a few of therapy clients. We've had a lot of therapy clients in the past, but the pandemic has obviously caused this great increase in need for mental health and therapy services. So quite a few therapists that have been in group practice for a number of years, maybe under someone else, or they've been seeing people in person, now want to branch out on their own and start their own therapy practice. And primarily we're seeing a lot of people start in the telehealth space. So it's a great idea. It's a very, very needed service at this time and probably into the future. And so we've been helping people establish their businesses in the telehealth and specifically the teletherapy space over the last several months. So I just want to go over a couple of the most common legal issues that we encounter with these types of clients. Now, number one is form an entity. Even though the owner of the business or the therapist themselves might be the one primarily providing the services at first, it's always advisable to have some type of legal entity to protect yourselves. Now, it's not foolproof because obviously if you're the one providing the services and you do something wrong, yes, you may still be subject to liability, but setting up an entity is still better than having no protection at all. Okay, number two, insurance. Any therapist that provides these services wants to make sure that they absolutely have adequate professional liability insurance in place. In addition, when you go and hire other people, other therapists to work under you, you also want to make sure that your insurance could cover them if they are an employee of yours. Very important to do this. So always get a good insurance broker to help you find a good policy. Number three, HIPAA compliance, especially with teletherapy. You know, there are a lot of concerns around privacy, patient data, what's being shared, and who has access to it. There are quite a few platforms for software that are HIPAA compliant. They do cost money, but that's a cost well spent if it makes you HIPAA compliant. Finally, the consents that you're using with your patients. Many of the therapists seem to be using documents from other colleagues or people in other states. Now, we always caution people against doing that, and it probably is worth your while to have an attorney actually review those consents, the patient forms, and anything else you're using with them, just to make sure that they do work for your state and for your situation. And finally, for those that are intending to hire therapists underneath them, whether they are 1099s or they'll be W-2 employees, it's really important to understand the distinction between the two. Even if the other person is a licensed professional, we still want to do the analysis as to whether that's really a proper 1099 relationship or if you're potentially at risk for some misclassification issues because maybe it's someone that should have been on your payroll. So if you are thinking about starting a therapy practice or more specifically potentially a teletherapy practice, you can feel free to reach out to our office. Our contact info is listed below and we're happy to help you get all set up and legal. Thanks.